Good Thursday morning, my friends. MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here with the MLive Morning Weather Update. I think I've got the weather figured out. I'll be honest, sometimes you're like, what's going to happen? And then it starts to become clear. I'm going with a little bit of a different approach, somewhat, as we look at this forecast. The story is the zone of thunderstorms. It's what we would call a frontal system, is going to be sagging south across lower Michigan today, tomorrow, kind of stall, and then come back to the north across lower Michigan Saturday into Sunday. So we have these batches of thunderstorms that will roll along this frontal system. And why I say I'm starting off a little bit different is we're going to start off with the satellite picture across the country, and I'm going to have you focus on an odd spot. I'm going to have you focus on the far southwest part of the U.S. because that's where the disturbance is coming from that will set off what looks to be a fairly widespread rain and thunderstorm event Saturday night, I'm going to call it. And this will be the thing we track for the weekend. So when you look at this, it gives you the idea. We have sunshine in lower Michigan. We have smoke in the sky too. And I've kind of used the type of satellite that just shows you the storm systems. Hey, good morning, steamy Cadillac. Yeah, it's steamy everywhere. Yes, I did rescue my phone from the couch. I had to wait till my wife got home from work because I had to tip it up, and then somebody had to be underneath there we actually had to take a cutter knife and cut into the bottom of the couch and get it. It was just kind of a crazy thing. By the way, fortunately we had bought 2 new couches. The dogs trashed ours. You know how that is. You come home and they're up on top of the arm in the back of the couch and try to keep them off. Okay, so watch that storm system down in New Mexico. That is a disturbance that's going to latch on to the frontal system. And so where I'm starting with this is kind of an odd map for you, somewhat. This is the total rainfall in a 24-hour period. This is the ensemble of the European model, and I think it gives us kind of a clear-cut idea of what's going to happen. So as we go through today and tomorrow, the zone of thunderstorms is across lower Michigan. But what I want you to focus on is see the yellow shading forming in Kansas and Missouri and Iowa. That is that disturbance coming out of the southwest, and then the model in its 51 tweaks Carter, yes, Bermuda High, that's right. That's what's doing it. So now let me back up. So notice the area of rain coming out of the Midwest. This is a 24-hour period from Saturday morning to Sunday morning. We're going to break it down a little bit closer, but I just want you to see that it looks like there's going to be an area of storms coming out of Iowa, across Wisconsin, Illinois, southern half of lower Michigan, especially southern third, and then on to the east. So here's current radar. We are dry across lower Michigan. Those thunderstorms across the UP are not severe, but you can definitely see that there is a zone that causes precipitation. And by the way, we have a marginal chance of severe weather today. And that's pretty obvious. When you have hot, humid weather and a thunderstorm chance, you could have a marginal chance. 5% chance of severe wind gust in any one of these storms. And look at the severe hail outlook. The northern half of lower Michigan has a chance of 1 inch hail or larger. We go into Friday, no threat. We go into Saturday, and the Storm Prediction Center starting to identify, that batch of thunderstorms coming across, let's say from Grand Rapids to Alma to Flint and southward. Hey, good morning, Andrew Gill on WKAR News. Good morning to you. Hey, thanks for joining me. A bunch of people on here. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa with the MLive Morning Weather Update. We're going to get into the weekend. I'll shut up now and get to the weather, but if this is the first time joining us, thank you very much. I'm watching the YouTube app, so if you have any questions, you can certainly ask those. All right, so now radar forecast for the next couple of days. And here we go. This is this afternoon. It appears as though some thunderstorms will come across far northern lower Michigan and the eastern UP early this afternoon. Southern lower, hot and humid, by the way, under a heat advisory. I'll show that to you in just a moment. And this is 6 o'clock tonight. You can get odd things, odd spotty thunderstorms in this kind of pattern. This is this evening. And then overnight, it does appear as though the southern half will have scattered showers and some thunderstorms. Doesn't appear as though anything will be super heavy. This is Friday. And Friday coming in, drying out, and then we watch for that storm system to come from the southwest. See it? And this is why I wanted to show you that kind of situation first. Just a second, I lost you here. It's kind of annoying when YouTube plays a commercial, then I lose you after that. All right, so we're back. And hey, Andrew Gill, no problem. So this is Saturday afternoon. This is Saturday evening. Don't take this to the bank, but I think the generic idea shows that, Saturday evening to early Sunday morning is when those thunderstorms come through. So we could fit it in the dark hours, maybe with an hour or two either side of that being wet. And we'll have to track it a little more. So this is the European model in its 6-hour total precip. And this is this afternoon into this evening into overnight to early tomorrow morning. So again, checking in dry mostly on Friday, and then we watch the storm system come out. This is not the ensemble, by the way. This is the single, what I'd consider best run. We need to come up with a better word for it. Meteorology calls it the deterministic output. Who knows what the heck that means if you're a normal person, right? So this is Saturday afternoon into early evening, Saturday evening into 2 a.m. Sunday, 2 a.m. to 8 a.m. Sunday, and then it would be over by 8 a.m. Sunday. So basically what it's showing is a concentrated area of thunderstorms coming across the southern half of lower Michigan on Saturday night. And then it shows another cold front. This would be the cold front that ends the heat and humidity for maybe a week or so. First 5-6 days of August don't look extremely hot. Look like 70s, low 80s. Mark Birdsall, YouTube Premium is $14. Just saying, yeah, I hear you. Everything's $14 though. Then you look at like, wow, we're gonna save money streaming, and then all of a sudden you look in your bank account and you got Netflix and you got Paramount Plus and you got YouTube TV and you got YouTube, and you're like, wow, I'm paying more than I ever did. Today, heat advisory. Basically, Tawas to Mount Pleasant to Grand Rapids, south and east, anywhere in there, the afternoon and evening will feel like about 100 to 105 degrees. So slow down and try to plan your outside construction projects with shade. if you can. Sometimes you can't always do that. All right, before I get to the temperatures, one last thing, and here it is. This is the upper airflow forecast, and what you'll see is the end of the heat wave. As we go into the weekend, it's still going to be pretty hot, and into early next week, that ridge. And then you see, as we get to Monday and Tuesday, the ridge starts to back up. We get a northwesterly flow by the middle to end of next week, and that should take the humidity down at least for several days. This is August 5th and August 6th and August 7th. And there's a storm system up to the north that will drive cold fronts through and keep the heat under control. So we're looking at about, I would say, a lot of places today in the heat index area, 93 to 95. Probably what keeps us a little bit less than 97 is the smoke in the air. Tomorrow, 80s. Don't let that deceive you. Still very muggy. And Saturday, 80s. Very muggy. And Sunday, warming up mid to upper 80s. Very muggy. Monday looks very muggy. Temperatures near 90. Tuesday in the 80s. Then we start to see the reflection of the somewhat cooler air with highs in the 70s. In northern, 2/3 or lower in the UP, low 80s southern. By Thursday, highs in the 70s everywhere. And next Friday, next weekend in the 70s, and then starting to come back to the 80s. So we get a 4 or 5 day break in the hot, humid weather, it looks like, starting about Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. We'll keep an eye on this. As I told my editor, Tanda, I'd be surprised if we don't have a burst of severe weather somewhere in this kind of pattern. Just fits the type of pattern and the time of year with the hot, humid weather. I don't see anything that alarms me just yet, but I also know that this is the kind of pattern where I have to watch each thunderstorm complex, because if they hit right at the prime time for severe thunderstorms, late afternoon, early evening, they can be a lot more significant than what the models and the data shows a couple of days out. So we'll keep an eye on that for you. Thanks for joining me on the MLive Morning Weather Update. If it's your first time, we do it all the time. What you should do is download the MLive app and then allow notifications from that. And what happens is when I'm ready to go on, I alert the people that hit the button that sends out a notification. Notification comes out. I usually wait like 30 seconds or a minute for people to pile in, and then we go to it. Thanks for joining me. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Have yourselves a great day. Bye.